Good evening. My name's Merrill Ring. I'm an officer of the Democratic Club of Claremont. Guest today is Joe Lyons, who is the Democratic candidate for the State Senate 29th District?
That's
29th District. And Joe is, I'm not going to run through all the wonderful things he has done and his ideas and so forth to start with. We're going to start right in. He has a Republican opponent, as usual in this district. California, as you recall, is 50-some days or more now into a budget crisis. There is no state budget, and the reason is simply Republicans in the legislature refuse to compromise with the Democrats, with their own governor, in fact. And there's an explanation for this, and one of the things Joe is going to be focusing on today is, why is this happening? Joe?
Thank you. Thank you, Merrill, for having me here today and for hosting this event. Yes, I think that it is unfortunate that 46 days in now to the budget crisis that we have in the state of California, that, again, the Republicans are clearly, the Republicans in both the House and the Senate are at fault for not being able to come to the table with even a proposal to present to their sitting governor of their own party. Their governor, our governor, has been critical of that. But I think what is important is that we address the root cause of this. Again, with the election coming up and with an opportunity to perhaps elect for the first time in many years a Democrat for the Senate seat in the 29th District, which I hope to accomplish. The root cause of this is a tendency among almost all of the sitting Republicans in the state legislature, both Senate and Assembly, to sign on to a pledge which they have kept religiously since being elected to the state legislature. That pledge that they signed comes from an organization in Washington, D.C., many, many miles away, and having no interest necessarily in the politics of California or in the health and safety of its citizens. The Americans for Tax Reform, Grover Norquist's proud, or at least he called a proud organization, that calls for various state and elected officials across the nation and in the federal government to sign this pledge. This pledge quite simply states that the state of taxpayer protection pledge, and this in case both Bob Margette, the current sitting senator, and Bob Huff, the Republican candidate and current sitting assembly person, both of whom are currently in Sacramento obstructing any kind of budget passage, sign this pledge. And it says, I, and in this case both Bob Margette and Bob Huff are on the list of signatories to this. I pledged to the taxpayers of the, in this case, 29th District, or in Bob's case, the 60th District, currently as he holds assembly, of the state of California, and all the people of this state, that I will oppose and vote against any and all efforts to increase taxes. Signed and dated and witnessed, of course, by the officials of the organization. They have a website. Anybody who questions the veracity of the statement can clearly go to the website to find out the truth of this. Now, that comes with the consequences. That comes with consequences that in times of need, this pledge takes precedent over the consequences that might accrue from not sufficiently and adequately funding programs that require funding in order to keep the state afloat and to keep services at a quality that the residents of the state of California both demand and require. And I think therein lies the roadblock that is in the way of the governor and or the Democratic Party's proposed budget solution, and it will remain so. We hear in a statement made by the governor today that could be well past Thanksgiving. I would hope not, but if it should, I would hope the voters of both throughout the state of California understand what the cause of that problem is.
Would you just say something about Grover Norquist, since this is his organization?
Yeah, well, Grover Norquist is an individual who has come up with a plan that ultimately is to significantly reduce the size of government and the number and quality and types of services provided and that those services he feels should be provided by the private sector. He is not against starving government programs out of existence, and in fact it is commonly referred to as the policy of starve the beast. The beast in his mind being the government services that, including public education, including health care, that, again, Californians, at least in polls, say that they are very much concerned about and would very much like to see improved in service.
Norquist is a good friend of Karl Rove and has been an important functionary in the Republican Party. I believe one of his sayings is, I would like to reduce government to the size where I could drown it in the bathtub.
Yes. Yes.
He has a completely opposite view of the importance of government from Democrats.
I would certainly think so, yes. And again, I think what needs to be clarified is that the issue that this raises is one of fiscal responsibility. And what does fiscal responsibility mean not only to an individual who might take a pledge like this, but to a Democrat who has a sense of fiscal responsibility as much as any citizen in the state of California might have. My sense is that it is an act of fiscal irresponsibility to underfund and undercut the services that are provided by government and are traditionally provided by government, and that it comes at a cost. It comes at a cost to our children. It comes at a cost to the general health and well-being of the public in the healthcare sector, and it comes at a cost to our higher education and to the business infrastructure that, again, has been traditionally put in place by government and government expenditures.
So when you say this takes precedence, that means there's no consideration on your opponent's part and other Republicans about what the actual situation in the state of California is.
That is my understanding, and they hold to this pledge, and they proudly hold up their allegiance to it when they are questioned on the issue.
And so you can go around whacking budget cuts, education, health. Even Schwarzenegger even mentioned the prison system, right?
Yes.
I mean, they expect cuts to be made everywhere.
Everywhere, and without necessarily, again, taking into account the detrimental consequences it might have in our public services.
Yeah, Californians want the services.
That is my understanding. I certainly, as a citizen, want services. I am now a grandparent of 5, 3 of whom live in the state of California, and I certainly want the public education system to be as good as it was when my 4 children went, which was much less in quality as when I went to and completed high school in San Diego County many, many years ago.
I read in one of your statements that you've achieved eminence in life, and is partly due to the public education system.
It certainly is.
It's true for many of us.
It certainly is. Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yes.
Where did you go to school?
I went to school in San Diego County, Point Loma High School. I graduated with honors from high school and went on to San Diego State and took a degree in microbiology. Working my way through college as an employee of Caltrans at that time.
I mean, actually out there on the road?
Actually out there on the road.
Wow.
In physical testing was the area in which I was an engineering aide, and then completed my master's degree at the same institution and started my career in science and at the University of California, San Diego Medical Center.